Every true comeback begins with a quiet decision. The decision to stop drifting and start directing your life again, not with noise, not with applause, but with a clear moment of honesty where you admit something isn't working and choose to change it. That moment is where reset, restart, and refocus stop being words and start becoming actions. A reset means releasing what no longer serves you, old mistakes, tired excuses, and habits that once felt safe, but now hold you back. It is not denial of the past. It is respect for the future. A restart means returning to the fundamentals: discipline, effort, and consistency. It means building strength from the ground up, even when the steps feel small and unnoticed. And refocus means aiming your energy where it matters, instead of scattering it across distractions that promise comfort but deliver nothing. Life has a way of drifting when attention weakens. Days begin to blend, standards soften, and ambition slowly gives way to convenience. The danger is not failure. The danger is becoming comfortable with less than you are capable of. A comeback does not require a new personality, perfect timing, or sudden confidence. It requires personal responsibility, clear thinking, and the courage to begin again. This is not about chasing motivation or waiting for the right feeling. It is about choosing direction over comfort and progress over excuses. The principles you're about to hear are simple, demanding, and timeless. The kind that build character, not shortcuts. If you're ready to stop repeating old patterns and start building forward momentum, this is your moment. Let's dive in. Number 1. Stop carrying what's already cost you enough. There comes a point when holding on stops being strength and starts becoming self-sabotage. The past has a strange way of sneaking into the present. Not loudly, but quietly. It shows up in hesitation, in self-doubt, in the way you second-guess decisions you should already be confident about. What you carry from yesterday shapes how you walk into today. Whether you realize it or not, mistakes, regrets, missed chances, they all have weight. Carry them long enough, and they begin to bend your posture. Not physically, but mentally. You stop standing tall in your own life. You approach opportunities already tired, already guarded, already convinced that things won't work out. Because once upon a time, they didn't. That's not wisdom. That's unpaid emotional debt. Let this be clear. Learning from the past is useful. Living inside it is destructive. The lesson is meant to sharpen you, not chain you. Yet many people replay old scenes in their minds, as if repetition will somehow rewrite the ending. It never does. All it does is drain energy that should be used to build something new. You cannot reset your life while dragging yesterday behind you. The mind cannot focus forward when it is busy defending old pain. Carrying guilt does not make you responsible. Carrying regret does not make you honest. Carrying resentment does not make you strong. It only makes you heavy. At some point, responsibility means putting things down, not pretending they never happened, but deciding they no longer get a vote in your future. You acknowledge the mistake, extract the lesson, and then you move on, deliberately. Anything beyond that is punishment, not growth. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Holding on often feels safer than letting go. Familiar pain feels more predictable than unknown progress. Releasing the past means stepping into uncertainty, and uncertainty demands courage. But growth has always required courage. Comfort has never produced transformation. This chapter is not asking you to forget. It's asking you to stop paying interest on experiences that are already over. You don't owe your past an explanation. You don't owe it loyalty. You owe yourself clarity. When you stop carrying what has already cost you enough, something powerful happens. Your thinking sharpens. Your energy returns. Decisions become cleaner. You stop reacting and start choosing. You create space. And space is where focus lives. A comeback doesn't begin with doing more. It begins with releasing what's unnecessary. Before you add discipline, ambition, or goals, remove the emotional clutter that weakens your resolve. Clean ground builds stronger foundations. Put it down. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. The weight you release today is the strength you'll use tomorrow. Number 2, rebuild discipline before you chase motivation. If you wait to feel motivated before you act, you hand control of your life to your moods. And moods are unreliable. They change with sleep, weather, praise, criticism, and comfort. A comeback cannot be built on something that's unstable. It has to be built on discipline. Quiet, boring, dependable discipline. Discipline is not punishment. It is structure. It is the decision to show up even when enthusiasm is missing. Motivation comes and goes. But discipline stays when things get uncomfortable. That's why discipline always outlasts inspiration. Inspiration excites you. Discipline carries you. Many people say they lack motivation, when what they really lack is structure. Their days have no edges, no rhythm, no standards. So energy leaks everywhere. When you rebuild discipline, you rebuild order. And order clears the mind. Start small, smaller than your pride wants. Discipline is not proven by grand gestures. It is built through simple, repeatable actions. Wake up when you said you would. Do the task you promised yourself you'd do. Finish what you start, even when no one is watching. These small acts may seem insignificant, but they send a powerful message to your mind. You can be trusted. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, confidence grows quietly. Not the loud kind, the solid kind. The kind that doesn't need validation. Motivation often shows up after action, not before it. Once movement begins, emotion follows. Understand this clearly. Discipline is self-respect in motion. When you consistently do what needs to be done, you stop negotiating with weakness. You stop asking, "Do I feel like it?" and start asking, "Is this what needs to be done?" That shift alone changes everything. There will be days when discipline feels heavy, days when comfort whispers louder than commitment. Those days are not signs of failure. They are tests of identity. In those moments, you are choosing who you are becoming, not just what you are doing. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Discipline thrives in imperfect environments. In fact, it is built there. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can, consistently. That consistency compounds faster than intensity ever will. You don't need extreme routines or heroic schedules. You need repeatable structure, simple rules you follow daily, fixed times, clear boundaries, fewer decisions. Discipline reduces mental fatigue by removing unnecessary choices. When you decide in advance, you free energy for execution. A restarted life doesn't need excitement. It needs reliability. It needs days that may feel ordinary but are quietly productive. Discipline turns ordinary days into extraordinary results over time. Rebuild discipline first. Motivation will follow. And when motivation fades, as it always does, discipline will still be there, carrying you forward. Number 3, remove the habits that quietly sabotage you. Big failures rarely ruin lives. Small habits do. The kind you barely notice. The kind that feel harmless, even comforting, yet quietly pull you away from who you want to become. A comeback doesn't collapse because of one bad decision. It erodes because of repeated, unexamined behavior. Some habits don't look destructive on the surface. They look like rest, distraction, or just a break. But over time, they steal focus, discipline, and self-belief. They drain minutes, then hours, then years. And the danger is not that they hurt you loudly. The danger is that they weaken you silently. Self-sabotage often hides behind routine. You reach for the phone without thinking. You delay starting something important until later. You choose comfort over effort, not once, but repeatedly. None of these choices feel serious in the moment, but momentum is built the same way, through repetition. So is stagnation. Willpower alone will not save you here. Fighting habits head-on, using force, usually fails. You don't remove sabotage by demanding more strength. You remove it by changing your environment. Make bad habits harder to reach, and good habits easier to begin. Distance yourself from triggers. Reduce friction where growth is required. Replacement is more powerful than resistance. When you try to simply stop a habit, you leave a vacuum, and the mind hates empty space. Replace scrolling with reading a page. Replace late nights with structured wind-downs. Replace mindless eating with planned meals. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It has to be consistent. Pay attention to patterns, not isolated moments. One off day doesn't define you. A repeated pattern does. Be honest about which behaviors pull you backward. Not with judgment, but with clarity. Clarity gives you control. Denial gives control away. Comfort habits often exist because they soothe something. Boredom, stress, loneliness, fear. Removing them without addressing the need underneath is temporary. Instead of asking, "Why can't I stop?" ask, "What am I avoiding?" That question leads to solutions instead of shame. Sabotage thrives in unstructured time. When days lack direction, habits take over. Structure doesn't eliminate freedom, it protects it. The more intentional your schedule, the less room there is for behaviors that work against you. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires fewer leaks. When you stop losing energy to small, harmful patterns, strength accumulates naturally. Focus sharpens. Discipline feels lighter. Effort becomes more effective. A reset demands honesty. A restart demands action. Removing self-sabotaging habits is not about becoming harsh or rigid. It's about becoming intentional. You stop letting old patterns make decisions for you. Every habit you remove is space created. And in that space, growth begins to breathe. Number 4, take ownership without self-punishment. There is a powerful difference between taking responsibility and attacking yourself. Ownership builds strength. Self-punishment drains it. Many people confuse the two and wonder why they feel stuck even while trying to improve. A real comeback requires responsibility without cruelty. Ownership means telling the truth about where you are. It means admitting what worked, what didn't, and what choices led here. Not to shame yourself, but to regain control. You cannot change what you refuse to own, and you cannot grow while constantly tearing yourself down. Self-punishment feels productive, but it isn't. Replaying failures in your mind, speaking harshly to yourself, and carrying guilt do not create progress. They create hesitation. They make the mind defensive. And a defensive mind does not learn. It protects. Responsibility, on the other hand, is calm and direct. It says, this is where I am. These were my decisions. And now I choose differently. No drama, no excuses, no emotional overreaction, just clarity and movement. Blame is the opposite of ownership, but so is self-hate. Blame points outward. Self-hate points inward. Both avoid real action. Ownership points forward. It asks one simple question: what's the next right move? Progress accelerates when emotion settles. When you stop punishing yourself, energy returns. You think more clearly. You plan better. You execute more consistently. Strength grows not from anger at yourself, but from respect for your ability to improve. Understand this: mistakes are feedback, not verdicts. They show you what doesn't work. They sharpen judgment if you let them. But if you turn every mistake into a personal attack, you train fear instead of growth. Fear avoids action. Growth requires action. Ownership also means accepting your current limits without surrendering to them. You don't pretend you're further along than you are. You don't exaggerate your weaknesses either. You simply work with reality. Reality, when faced directly, becomes manageable. A strong mind can say, I messed up, without collapsing. It can acknowledge failure and still move forward with dignity. That ability separates those who grow from those who stay trapped in cycles of regret. Drop the idea that improvement requires suffering. Growth requires honesty, effort, and consistency, not punishment. When discipline is paired with self-respect, it becomes sustainable. When it's paired with self-attack, it eventually collapses. If you want to rebuild momentum, start here. Own your choices. Learn the lesson. Make the adjustment. Then move on without dragging emotional weight behind you. Ownership without self-punishment is power. It keeps you focused, steady, and forward-moving, exactly where a comeback is built. Number 5, simplify your goals until action becomes obvious. Complex goals feel impressive, but they often paralyze action. When the mind is overloaded with too many plans, too many timelines, and too many expectations, progress slows to a crawl. A comeback doesn't need more ambition. It needs more clarity. Confusion is not a lack of intelligence. It's a lack of focus. And focus begins when you simplify. When everything feels important, nothing truly gets done. The first step forward is deciding what actually matters right now. Not eventually. Not someday, but today. Many people set goals that are too big, too vague, or too distant. They say they want success, growth, or change, but they don't define what that looks like in daily action. So the mind wanders, energy scatters, and nothing moves consistently enough to build momentum. Simplifying goals is not lowering standards. It is raising effectiveness. It means cutting through noise until the next action is unmistakably clear. When you know exactly what to do next, hesitation disappears. Ask yourself one honest question. What is the single most important direction for my life right now? Not 5. Not 10. 1. When you answer that, supporting actions fall into place, naturally. Once direction is clear, reduce it further. Turn that direction into a daily practice. Something measurable, something repeatable, something that can be done even on low-energy days. Progress is built on what you do consistently, not what you plan occasionally. Over-planning is often disguised as productivity. People research, organize, and prepare endlessly, believing they are moving forward. In reality, they are delaying discomfort. Action feels risky. Planning feels safe. Simplification forces you out of hiding. A simple plan executed daily will outperform a perfect plan never started. Action beats elegance. Consistency beats intensity. Clarity beats complexity. When goals are simple, feedback becomes immediate. You know whether you showed up or not. You know whether you followed through. There's no room for confusion or excuses. Simplicity exposes truth, and truth fuels growth. You don't need to rebuild your entire life at once. You need to move one meaningful area forward with discipline. Strength grows from focus. Focus grows from elimination. Remove unnecessary goals. Pause projects that divide attention. Say no to directions that don't serve the comeback you are building. Every no frees energy for a stronger yes. Simplified goals reduce mental friction. Decisions become easier. Stress decreases. Confidence increases because progress is visible. You start trusting yourself again. If you feel stuck, don't push harder. Step back and simplify. Strip your goals down until action becomes obvious. Then act daily, quietly, and without drama. A clear direction followed by simple, disciplined action is unstoppable over time. Number 6. Build momentum before you build confidence. Confidence is often misunderstood. People treat it like a prerequisite, something you must feel before you take action. In reality, confidence is a result. It grows after movement, not before it. Waiting to feel ready keeps you standing still, and standing still never builds belief. Momentum is the real foundation. When you move, even imperfectly, the mind begins to shift. Action changes how you see yourself. Each step forward, no matter how small, provides evidence. And evidence is what confidence feeds on. Many people say they don't believe in themselves. What they really mean is they haven't given themselves enough proof. Proof comes from doing, from showing up when it's uncomfortable, from finishing tasks, even when enthusiasm fades. Confidence grows quietly in the background while you work. Momentum does not require massive effort. It requires consistency. One action done daily compounds faster than occasional bursts of intensity. Small wins stack up. And as they stack, hesitation weakens. Start before you feel prepared. Preparedness often arrives after the first few steps, not before them. Once movement begins, clarity improves. Doubt fades. Direction sharpens. You begin to trust yourself because your behavior is aligned with your intentions. Momentum also breaks mental resistance. The hardest part is often starting. Once you're in motion, continuing becomes easier. Energy follows action, not the other way around. The body responds. The mind adapts. There will be days when progress feels invisible, days when effort doesn't seem to produce immediate results. Those days are not failures. They are part of the process. Momentum is built through repetition, not recognition. Stop measuring progress only by outcomes. Measure it by follow-through. Did you show up? Did you do what you said you would do? That is progress. That is momentum. Confidence that comes from momentum is durable. It doesn't disappear when things get hard. It doesn't depend on praise or external validation. It's rooted in experience. You've seen yourself act. You've proven you can move forward even when uncertain. Momentum also changes identity. When action becomes habitual, you stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start saying, "This is what I do." Identity shifts from within. And once identity changes, behavior becomes easier to maintain. Do not wait for fear to disappear. Fear often stays. Learn to move with it. Movement weakens fear's grip. Stillness strengthens it. A comeback is not built by confidence alone. It is built by action repeated long enough to create momentum. Momentum then creates confidence as a byproduct. Start moving. Let action speak. Confidence will catch up. Number 7. Learn to sit with discomfort without escaping. Growth begins where comfort ends. But that truth is rarely lived. Discomfort is often treated as a signal to stop, distract, or escape. Yet discomfort is not danger. It is information. And learning to stay present with it is a skill that separates those who change from those who stay the same. Most progress feels uncomfortable at first. New routines strain the body. New standards strain the mind. Focus strains old habits that prefer ease. The mistake is assuming that discomfort means something is wrong. In reality, it often means something is finally changing. Escape comes in many forms. Constant distraction, endless entertainment, overthinking, even productivity can become a way to avoid the one task that truly matters. These escapes don't remove discomfort. They delay growth, and delayed growth eventually turns into frustration. Sitting with discomfort does not mean forcing yourself to suffer. It means staying present without reacting. You acknowledge the urge to quit, to check out, to reach for comfort, and you don't obey it immediately. You pause, you breathe, you continue. This pause builds strength, not physical strength, but mental steadiness. The ability to stay with difficulty without dramatizing it is a powerful advantage. It keeps you calm under pressure. It keeps you focused when things feel heavy. Discomfort often comes from resistance, not from the task itself. Once resistance fades, effort feels lighter. That's why starting is usually harder than continuing. The mind resists change. The body adapts quickly. Train yourself to recognize temporary discomfort versus real harm. Growth discomfort feels challenging but meaningful. Harm feels chaotic and destructive. Learning the difference allows you to push through what strengthens you and step away from what doesn't. Every time you stay with discomfort instead of escaping, you build trust with yourself. You prove that you can handle challenge. That trust compounds. Over time, discomfort loses its power to control you. This doesn't mean ignoring rest. Rest is necessary, but rest is intentional. Escape is impulsive. One restores you, the other weakens your ability to face reality. A focused mind doesn't run from pressure. It adjusts and continues. It doesn't need perfect conditions. It works with what is present. If you want to refocus your life, stop running from discomfort. Sit with it. Let it sharpen you. Let it teach you patience, resilience, and self-command. The ability to remain steady when things feel uncomfortable is not inherited. It is trained, and once trained, it becomes one of your greatest strengths. Number 8, protect your energy like a valuable asset. Everything you want to build in your life depends on energy, not ideas, not talent. Energy. Without it, even the best plans collapse. With it, ordinary effort becomes powerful. That's why protecting your energy is not selfish, it's strategic. Energy is lost long before people notice they're exhausted. It leaks through distractions, unnecessary arguments, overcommitment, and constant mental noise. By the time fatigue becomes obvious, damage has already been done. A comeback demands awareness before burnout. Start by recognizing where your energy goes, not where you think it goes, where it actually goes. Certain conversations drain you. Certain habits scatter your focus. Certain environments keep your mind restless. None of this is accidental. Energy follows attention, and attention is being pulled in many directions. Protecting energy doesn't mean cutting yourself off from life. It means setting quiet boundaries. You don't need to explain every no, you don't need to attend every conversation. You don't need to react to every message or opinion. Reaction is expensive. Intention is efficient. Rest is not weakness. It is maintenance. A worn-out mind cannot focus. A tired body resists discipline. Rest done deliberately restores power. Rest done accidentally becomes avoidance. Learn the difference. Sleep, nutrition, movement, and stillness are not optional if you want sustained progress. They are the foundation. Neglect them long enough and discipline becomes a struggle instead of a choice. Mental energy is just as important as physical energy. Constant comparison, self-criticism, and overthinking quietly drain strength. Simplify your mental inputs. Reduce noise. Fewer opinions. Fewer distractions. More presence. Protecting energy also means choosing what deserves intensity. Not everything needs your best effort. Not every task needs perfection. Save your strongest focus for what actually moves your life forward. When energy is managed well, discipline feels lighter. Focus lasts longer. Progress becomes sustainable. You stop forcing yourself and start flowing with intention. People who burn out often care deeply. Their mistake is not lack of commitment. It's lack of boundaries. They give everything to everything and end up with nothing left for what truly matters. A comeback is not built on exhaustion. It's built on controlled effort applied consistently. That requires energy. And energy must be guarded. Treat your energy like currency. Spend it where the return is meaningful. Save it where waste is likely. Invest it where growth is certain. Protect your energy and everything else becomes easier to build. Number 9. Create an identity that matches where you're going. Lasting change doesn't begin with goals. It begins with identity. What you repeatedly do is shaped by what you believe about yourself. If your actions and your self-image are misaligned, progress will always feel forced. A real comeback requires becoming someone new. Not overnight, but intentionally. Identity is not what you say you are. It's what your behavior proves. The way you show up when no one is watching reveals the story you believe about yourself. And if that story is outdated, your actions will keep pulling you back. Many people try to change outcomes without changing identity. They want new results while holding on to old labels. I'm just not disciplined. I've never been consistent. This is how I am. Those statements may feel honest, but they quietly lock you in place. Identity is not fixed. It is built, and it is built through action. Every small choice is a vote for the person you are becoming. Skip one vote, nothing changes. Cast enough votes consistently, and identity shifts naturally. You don't wait until you feel like a disciplined person to act with discipline. You act with discipline until it feels natural. Behavior comes first. Identity follows. This doesn't mean pretending or putting on an act. It means aligning actions with intention. You don't need to announce who you're becoming. You prove it through repetition. Let go of identities that no longer serve you. Old roles, old excuses, old stories. They may have once protected you, but now they limit you. Growth often requires releasing labels that feel familiar but keep you small. When identity changes, discipline feels less like effort and more like expression. You're no longer forcing habits. You're living them. Focus becomes easier because it aligns with who you see yourself as. Expect resistance. The mind clings to familiar identity, even when it's uncomfortable. Change feels threatening because it challenges the old story. Stay consistent anyway. The discomfort fades as the new identity strengthens. Surroundings matter. Your environment reinforces identity. Choose spaces, routines, and influences that reflect where you're going, not where you've been. Identity is shaped by what you repeatedly see, hear, and do. A comeback becomes inevitable when identity and action move in the same direction. You stop negotiating with yourself. Decisions simplify. You act in alignment because misalignment feels uncomfortable. Create the identity first through action. Let repetition do the rest. Over time, the new identity becomes familiar. And when that happens, progress no longer feels like a struggle. It feels like who you are. Number 10. Commit to the long game, even when results are quiet. Every meaningful comeback is built in silence. Not in applause, not in instant results, but in stretches of effort, where nothing seems to change on the surface. This is where most people quit, not because the work is too hard, but because the rewards are delayed. The long game demands patience, and patience is rare. It asks you to keep showing up when excitement fades, when progress feels invisible, and when doubt whispers that you're wasting time. Yet this is exactly where transformation takes root. Results are often quiet before they are visible. Skills develop internally before they show externally. Discipline strengthens before outcomes appear. Identity shifts before success announces itself. If you expect constant feedback, you'll abandon the process too early. Consistency matters more than intensity here. Intensity burns bright but short. Consistency builds slowly but lasts. Small actions repeated daily carry more power than occasional heroic effort. This is not exciting. It is effective. Learn to measure progress correctly. Don't ask only, "What have I gained?" Ask, "What am I becoming?" The internal changes often lead the external ones by weeks, months, sometimes longer. Trust that process. Quitting is tempting when no one is watching. That's why commitment must be internal. External validation is unreliable. If your effort depends on praise, momentum collapses when attention disappears. The long game also requires emotional control. You will experience doubt. You will question your direction. These moments are not signs of failure. They are signs of endurance being tested. Stay steady. Repetition builds mastery. Mastery builds confidence. Confidence attracts opportunity. This sequence cannot be rushed. Trying to skip steps only delays results further. Understand this, the absence of immediate results does not mean absence of progress. Growth is often happening beneath the surface, strengthening foundations that will support future success. Commitment means deciding in advance not to quit when things feel slow. It means trusting your system more than your mood. It means choosing discipline on ordinary days, not just inspired ones. A comeback is not a moment, it's a direction. Once you commit to the long game, pressure decreases. You stop chasing quick wins and start building something solid. Stay the course. Let time work in your favor. Quiet consistency will eventually make noise. A real comeback is never loud in the beginning. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive with certainty or applause. It starts quietly. The moment you decide to take yourself seriously again, not perfectly, not dramatically, just honestly, you've walked through the process of resetting what no longer serves you, restarting with discipline instead of emotion, and refocusing on what actually matters. None of these steps require talent, luck, or permission. They require responsibility, and responsibility is the one thing always within your control. A reset is about release. You stop carrying emotional weight that drains your energy and clouds your thinking. A restart is about structure. You rebuild discipline, not because you feel inspired, but because progress demands consistency. Refocus is about direction. You simplify, protect your energy, and align your actions with the person you are becoming. There will be days when the work feels quiet, days when nothing seems to change. Those are not signs to stop. Those are signs to stay. The long game rewards those who can remain steady when results are invisible. This is not about becoming someone else. It's about returning to what you already know you're capable of, with clearer thinking, stronger habits, and better boundaries. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You need to show up tomorrow with intention and the day after that with discipline. Momentum is built one decision at a time. Identity is shaped one action at a time. Strength is earned one uncomfortable moment at a time. And over time, these quiet choices compound into something undeniable. No one is coming to reset your life for you. That's not a burden. It's freedom, because it means the power has always been yours. If you stay consistent, protect your energy, and commit to the long game, the comeback you're looking for will not just happen. It will become inevitable. Begin again. Stay steady. Move forward.